Hi, you're watching Toysbackzen. Today we're going to do a repair on this Captain Planet figure called Hoggish Greedily. I picked him up at a local toy show just recently with the Captain Planet Toxic Sludge Dump. This figure is complete and both items I got for $20. So I thought it was a good deal. You can see here that his is a squishy backpack that you put water in and you can use it to toxic sludge the good guys with. And because of his name, Hoggish Greedily, there's lots of pig or hog looking details on the backpack and on the gun. I tried to take this off to see if you could fill it with water, but it doesn't come apart. So I think you just press on the backpack and it sucks up the water, and then you shoot your opponents with it. Now, the reason why I'm doing this figure isn't really because I think it's a great figure, but the problem with it is that it has a leg that is broken, and it's been glued back together. Now, this figure is made out of a really hard plastic, so I can see why maybe the leg probably broke from a kid, playing with it too hard, and they just glued it back together. I'm going to see if I can pry this leg off. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. And we've lucked out, and the peg is still in there. So that might make it a little easier to fix. I'm not really sure how I'm going to fix this yet. There's two options here. We could pull the peg out and try to repair it with new plastic, or we could try to reuse the peg if it's possible. I'm just going to take my knife here and clean out some of the old crazy glue that they used. We don't want to fix it and then all that crazy glue in there keeps the leg from being able to articulate properly. So the idea is to make this leg functional and have the figure fully articulate again like it used to. Now you can apply all of these techniques to a lot of different figures from the 80s, 90s, and even today. So I'm going to try to get this peg out. And first I have to make sure that it's not glued in there. So let me just grab my pliers here. I'm just going to see if I can turn this peg with my pliers. And if it turns, then that's what we want to see. Perfect. This plastic is probably brittle. So the peg moves and turns. That's perfect. So the plan is to pull the peg out and try to reuse it. And if we can glue that in there well enough, then hopefully, see the peg moves, turns. Hopefully we can reuse the peg. The way I'm going to do that is by boiling some water and I'm going to put in the hot water. Not too long. I've learned my lesson from this. If you put it in too long, it can make the plastic turn a different color, depending on what kind of plastic it's made out of. So hold it in boiling water. I'm going to hold it in there for about 30 seconds. Get my pliers on that peg and try to pull it out. This makes the plastic really soft and pliable. There we go. Pulled out just like that. So I'm going to do a little bit of shaping on this peg. Clean it up a little bit. I made some marks on it from my pliers, and I'm going to try to clean those jagged edges up a little bit, and some of the glue that might be still on it, and see if we can fit it on there. I'm going to use a lot of glue. I want to fill any spaces that we may not get plastic to plastic. We want to get as much plastic touching plastic as possible when you're gluing two pieces together, but because of the damage with this piece, that's probably not possible. And I don't want to shape or shave too much plastic off of this, because you need to have a gap that will go into the leg that we are going to try to heat up again and put on this, so that leg will fit over the peg, because the leg plastic is pretty thick. It's probably about 2 or 3 millimeters. So we need to have a 2 or 3 millimeter gap from the crotch area to the head of the peg. We'll let that sit. I'm going to let that sit like overnight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see if it's see how strong it is. Now, if that doesn't work, I will, or if it's not, doesn't seem strong enough, I'll use this Lego piece. I'll drill a hole through the peg and into the crotch, and then I'll insert this Lego piece all the way down through, and that will make it all one piece again, one piece of plastic. But we'll check and see if this glue is going to hold it tight.
All we need is an eco-dweeb to trap my toxic sludge dump. I'll get one with this scuttle cup. Oh no! I need Captain Planet! I'll save you, Gee. You missed me, scum. Ugh, yuck. I guess we made a mess out of their plans.
The power is yours.
Okay, it's the next day. I have boiling water. I'm going to heat this leg up, and you'll see that this peg is really strong. I'm pushing on that really hard. I'm trying to break it off, and it's not breaking. So I think it's going to hold. So let me put this leg in the water, and I'm going to push it onto the peg. And there you go. Sorry, I forgot to hit record when I was doing it because I was in a rush to get it done. But there you can see the leg is now on. It's articulating. It's still warm, and the plastic is kind of soft right now. So I'm going to let that sit for a few hours. Let the plastic get hard, and then we'll check it out and see how it works. So next we're going to do a little bit of polishing on the face. I've noticed that the face was scuffed against pavement or something like that. Maybe in their backyard, the kid was playing with it in the driveway, or maybe they had some bricks or something. There's some scuffs on his nose and on his eyebrows. So I've got these polishing cloths. These I use for polishing guitar finishes, right up to, I think it starts at 1200 grit, and I think there's about 12 pads, and it goes up to 24,000 grit, maybe even higher. So next we have some paint that we need to fix here. We got some paint scrapes or some missing paint on the tie, which is kind of a dark blue. We've got some missing paint on his mohawk, which is like an orange. We've got some missing paint on the boots, which is like an olive green or an army green, I guess you could call it. And he's got some ink on his teeth and on his face, so I'm going to try to remove that ink with some lighter fluid. That's probably going to remove some of the paint, so I'll be painting the teeth too. Now he still has that ink on there, so let's see if we can get that ink off. He's got a little bit of ink on his cheek and his teeth and on his eyebrow. And I'm just going to use a little bit of lighter fluid here. Yeah, and there we go. I've got rid of some ink on his face. There's still a little bit there, but at least I got it off his teeth. And I repainted the front fangs on the top, and I've painted and managed to match most of the paint on his body. I got his accessories back on, and yes, his leg is now articulated the way it should be. Thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below and let me know what you think of these figures. Did you play with these figures as a kid? Do you collect them now? Thanks for watching. See ya.